Hi guys, Laura YY here, just looking at what's that on your head? Ugh, I don't know. Hi guys, as I said, it's Laura YY here. Sorry about that. Yes, it's a little Miss Madam coming to give me some grief. Sorry I haven't been around. After my last pup date, when I went to see the pup, I actually came down with a bug. Oh god. I was pretty poorly for a few days, but anyway, I'm back now, and then, I thought I'd come and talk to you about getting prepared for picking up the little puppy. Right, her name's going to be Zed. Yeah, it's not very original really, but I had to give a name at the vets, and I thought, well, I've got a Y, I might as well have a Z. So just Zed as in Z-E-D for now. I mean, obviously I don't know the little puppy, and as I get to know her, that very well might change, so I don't know, but that for now is what we're going to refer to her as, Zed. I spoke to Tracy the breeder yesterday evening, which was really funny actually. I just wanted to see how she was getting on, and find out what food the Zed's on, and because I do want to swap it over, but obviously that has to be done over 10 to 14 days. It's 10% change over a day usually in a dog, but in a puppy I like to extend it out a bit, because the last thing you want is a puppy with an upset stomach. So there's been quite a lot to do. I was saying to Tracy, we were chatting away, and I suddenly heard this real yelp in the background. She goes, "That's your puppy just biting the ear of the one that she's keeping, Bob." She's keeping one of the little boys, black and white ones, called Bob. It really yelped. I thought, oh, she was never at the bottom of the litter anyway. She's kind of mid-range-ish, so those sorts of things happen, isn't it? So it's all good fun. So, well, yeah, 6 days to go, really. Bought a puppy gate. I suppose the stair gate / baby gate. To me, it's a puppy gate. A bit lucky, because I've got a narrow doorway, and it was minimum of 74 centimetres, and my gap was 73.5. It's a pressure gate, so we just put the pads on one side. It's very firm, and it's ideal because it opens right up. It's not like one with a little gap in the middle. I can't stick those things. So because obviously Zed is going to have to be left alone in the kitchen, because I can make that a safe place whilst I take YY out. With YY's arthritis, she only goes out sort of half an hour at a time, twice a day. So that's how it has to be. I've got plenty of toys for her. I've done laid a few paving stones in a blind spot in the garden behind the shed, because I don't want any digging. All these things, I think it's a good thing really in retrospect to have time. I've always picked puppies up and then thought, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that, and this time, I suppose this experience, I know all the things puppies do, so I've just got more prepared. Obviously the first thing is toilet training, and I'll be putting a bit of paper down in the kitchen newspaper, but to be honest, it's taking them out every 2 hours into the garden and popping them on the lawn, and you can use whatever word you like, but I use go wee wee, and lots of praise every time they do, and to be honest, it only ever takes me 2 days, so I'll probably end up with a huge pile of newspaper and not end up using it. I've got a collar in my pocket to get scent on it from me, and I've put the bells on it. I will have to adjust this because it's probably going to be too big. It looks tiny, doesn't it, really? But it's probably going to be a bit big. She's got 2 little bells on it, so that every time she moves, if I should happen to just be asleep, right? Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? I'll hear her, so I can just nip up and grab her and have a lead by the back door. Obviously, when you're toilet training, it's better to do it with them on a lead. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make, is they have the puppy and they don't bother getting it used to a collar and lead, and then when it's time for it to go out for a proper walkies, they're like, what have you got around my neck, and why are you yanking me around, because they try to pull on the lead and all that. So there's so many things to do, and I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. It will be really good to have something to do, and kind of YY's having to retire in a lot. She does her service work, but she can't do a lot of the fun things. She wants to. She's not limping or anything, and she physically wants to, but it's up to me to ensure she doesn't really damage those joints anymore. So yeah, and I had a wonderful reaction from my doctor, because I had to pop in a sear over another issue, which actually at some point I'm going to do a video on, because unbelievable what happened over a direct debit that the company cancelled themselves. Oh, wow. So I was in there to pick up a letter to send to these people, and I took my camera in with me, and I said, I have got some good news. And she, I got my camera out, she goes, is that what I think it is? I said, well, it depends what you're thinking. And she literally squealed. She's a wonder, my doctor, she's great. And at my next appointment, which is the day after Zed has her puppy jabs, I do have to see my doctor for my monthly appointment to get all my endless medications. And she's going to actually come out and see the puppy in the car, which would be great, because Stuart's going to take me. I couldn't believe how, she just bundled me up and gave me a big hug, and she's so pleased, and I think she's been quite worried about me, actually. So yeah, that was really nice, and it made me smile, and it's all made me smile. I mean, Stuart bought me some lovely flowers yesterday. He bought himself some as well, because they were reduced to 25 pence a bunch, but it was the thought that counts, and it always is the thought that counts, and they're really pretty. I mean, I've got some hoovering. Well, I'm always cleaning the floor because YY's molting like mad, but I've got some hoovering, and I've got to clean the kitchen floor. What else have I got to do? I'm sure I've got a few other things to do. I've got to wash the dog bed and all of that sort of stuff. But it's just good fun, really, getting prepared for Zed coming, and YY isn't a fool. She so knows what's going on, and obviously we're taking her. Again, I think that's a mistake a lot of people make when they introduce a dog or puppy into a house that already has a dog, and I think puppies are easier to introduce than adult dogs, personally. That's my view. I always take the dog. I mean, when I had 2 dogs and I went to get YY, I took them both with me, and then they've all got to come back in the car, and you just walk in the house. Well, I walk into my house, through the house, straight into the garden. I know there seems to be a bit of a trend that I've noticed, and I think it's a bit full on or a bit over the top personally, but it's just my personal opinions, and each to their own. That people are like keeping the pups almost isolated from other dogs and not taking them into the garden until all the vaccinations are done. Personally, I think that's depriving the puppy a lot, and also wasting a valuable amount of time for training, because when they're so young, you can teach so much that sets them up for life in the right way, and it's just so important. So what else has been going? That's really it, I think. I'm sure, I mean, Tracy was saying, because obviously I hadn't spoken to her for a week or so, and she was saying, I said, I bet they've grown, and she goes, I was quite surprised, because she had to go away for 3 days, and the kids were looking after, because they're older kids, they were looking after the puppies, and she was quite surprised how much they've grown just in 3 days. So the sweet little 5-week-old puppy that I was showing you pictures of, she's going to be quite a bit, about third again as big, so yeah, it should be good fun. Dreading the trip up there. I'm not going to lie, I am dreading it because of that orbital road. Stuart has been trying to find a way around it, but it's like I said to him, if it isn't broke, let's not try and fix it, because we could get lost. So everything's really quite organised, or pretty much getting there. I had to do a shed clearance and a garden clearance, tip runs to make sure everything's okay. I mean, you can't totally puppy proof everything, and I, in a way, don't think you should, because the pup has to learn no and leave pretty quickly. I mean, I expect I shall sleep in here pretty much. I don't seem to be sleeping very well at the moment anyway. I think that's a little bit of excitement. So I'm catnapping on the sofa a lot, which annoys the hell out of YY, because she's like, what are you doing going to sleep on the sofa? And I'm like, well, I've just got to crash for an hour. But that's fine, I accept that when you get a puppy, for the first week or so, it's pretty sleepless, or, you're going to be aware, because the pup must come first. It's as simple as that. I mean, yeah, you do have to fit the pup in around your life. However, to get the toilet training done in a couple of days, you just have to make sacrifices, and I really don't mind. It's not a problem. It's not like I have very much to do now, is it? Anyway, guys, I hope you're all well, and I just thought I'd come and give you a little pup update, and this time next week we will be 3. So that will be wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, guys, please stay well, take care,